What's up, everybody? Jed Johnson here from DieselCrew.com. Of course, you know they call me Napalm. And I've got a question today that actually allowed me to learn something when I looked some stuff up in order to best answer the question. So, the question was, can grippers damage your heart? So, first off, right away, I've never heard of that. I've never heard of anyone who trained grippers ending up with heart issues. So, my inclination is to say no. I don't think grippers are going to damage your heart. However, that question then progressed into more, as it went in more detail, it was about breathing. So what I'm wondering is if the person is concerned about possible breathing irregularities that take place when you're squeezing grippers really, really hard. So for instance, I have a really light gripper right here that I do demonstrations with because I'm not warmed up at all. And when you're setting something, a really hard gripper, you can be like breathing really weird. When you're gonna actually squeeze it down and you're really, really close and you're trying to finish it off, you might hold your breath and especially with silver bullet sometimes, especially if I'm gonna do 3, 4, or 5 sets on that first set, because it's usually the longest one, I'm breathing weirdly for the longest amount of time, and it's also just a really high pressure effort. When I'm done, like sometimes I'm like spacey. My head will hurt a little bit. I might brown out a little, stuff like that. Now, I don't know that I have anything wrong with my heart. I haven't had a test or anything like that, but I've been doing Silver Bullet since it came out. I've been training grippers since 2002 or even earlier. I don't know of any heart issues that I have, um, you know, as official heart, problems. However, if you have, what this reminded me of was a discussion on the Valsalva maneuver, and I'm going to talk about what I ended up learning in just a moment. Um, Apparently, I'll just talk about it now. Apparently, there's two Valsalva maneuvers. The one that I learned about is the way that you create tension in your core in order to stabilize your torso and spine for a big lift on like a deadlift or a squat, stone lifting, things like that. You tense up and you create a lot of pressure. And I do remember when I was learning things about strength conditioning prior to getting my CSCS certification that one of the things that came up was if people have heart issues, they may not want to use the Valsalva maneuver. Now, here's what I learned. Like I said, turns out there's like two different Valsalva maneuvers. So I just looked up risks of Valsalva maneuver on Google, and it shows. I can't tell if it looks more like Miley Cyrus or what's that other dude's name with he got famous really young and he got all those tattoos and ended up getting them removed, and I can't remember his name right now, but it looks like it could pass for either one of them because it's got like a boyish looking haircut that's like dyed blonde. I don't know, maybe it'll come to me, but they're holding their nose. I don't know if they're. I've seen people try to do that to like clear their ears, clear their sinuses. I didn't know it was called the Valsalva maneuver, but apparently there's another Valsalva maneuver. And if you look this up, there are risks associated that for hypotension, which is a sudden persistent decrease in blood pressure. And people performing the maneuver may also feel lightheaded or experience syncope, which I think that's how it's pronounced, which is a brief loss of consciousness. Um, that's spelled Syncope. Uh, so it kind of sounds like brownout, blackout to me. So I didn't know that holding your nose and then like creating all that pressure was also called the Valsalva maneuver. I didn't know that. I've only ever associated that with strength training, so that's what I learned. But anyway, I guess the point is if you have erratic breathing and you're holding your breath and you're creating all kinds of pressure when you're training grippers, I suppose you could say there is a risk for, causing at least very, very short term changes to the way that your heart is working, the way that your cardiopulmonary system is working, the way that your blood flow is functioning. But as far as like absolute heart damage, I have absolutely no idea if that's possible or not. It would be great to know. I'm not aware of any research. I'm certainly not aware of anybody who trained grip and grippers for a long time and ended up having heart issues either. So, wow, I'm sorry. So I hope this video helps you out. If there's anybody that's concerned about their heart issues, I would encourage you to go to a doctor. As is suggested in all of my ebooks, it's best to go to a doctor before you start any kind of new exercise or strength training program, just to make sure that you're healthy enough to do that and there's not underlying causes or underlying issues that you're not aware of. So I just want everybody to get the most out of their training possible. If you want some information on how to best train grippers, check out the description box below. I've got some links for you. Otherwise, be sure to give it one of these. Make sure to subscribe. Any further questions, or if you know of anybody who's ever developed heart issues from training grippers, leave them in the comments section below. Or if you'd like to further discuss this, there's a lot of people out there that know a lot more about heart and lungs and stuff like that than me. So please feel free to post below. Thanks a lot, everybody. All the best in your training. Take care.